old Star Trek's on, that one with the guy who invented warp speed, and he's on this part of a planet thing, and you're like, no, that's not tangible. You wouldn't be able to, a piece of a planet and live on it with the gravity and it's interesting, because this is science fiction, and you're sitting there watching it and going, no, this isn't tangible. In order, in order to have the same, that's what they're looking for in space is, similar planets like ours that can sustain life like us. And you need this proximity to the sun, you need the gravity, you need you need all the components to come together that are similar, which is very tangible. It's extraordinarily tangible. Given, but the dynamics might be different, like they have with the John Carpenter's Avengers, or it's anything, you'd have a bigger sun with a bigger planet, or, things like that. That's entirely tangible too. You'd have to look at things, but it has to, as far as the photosynthesis and stuff like that. I know there's lots of factors, multiple amounts of factors, and you'd have to look at it. And then so when you look at things that way, it's like, Bob Marley, saying, if you know what life is worth, you look for years on earth and now you see the light, So being adventuresome with your life and going out to explore strange new worlds and stuff like that, appreciate the beauty. Like those kids in the, at the end of Islamic studies class at ASU back in the 90s when I was talking, and the one kid, well, if I was, back in Moses' time, that's a movie. That's Cecil B. DeMille. That's from a book. Okay? You cannot believe a book verbatim. Okay? That's gullible. It's naive. Okay? It's wrong to do. Okay? Especially when people talk about truth and evidence. All right? So you don't believe a book verbatim. Now you can, it's like I told my family all the time, it's not the word of God, it's words inspired by people that have faith in God, is what the Bible is. Okay. Written down and used by people that don't have faith in God. Okay. And the Vatican is a corporation that has a bank, and that's not forgive debt and trespass and love one, eternal faithful peace. Okay, so the things that are talked about in the Bible have to be lived when you understand them intellectually, psychologically, emotionally, right? So, if people get uncomfortable around me, in close proximity because of genocide operations through brain chemical addicts, you don't deserve to be comfortable until you are living the Lord's Prayer. All right. It is not right to be comfortable until you're living the Lord's Prayer. When I was sitting there, they were showing this video that I watched on YouTube about that 3i Atlas thing that they're doing. We had a big asteroidal impact during the time of the dinosaurs because the dinosaurs, because of predatory behaviors, were throwing their environment and the balance and the harmony required on the planet for a life like ours to survive. Mammals or reptiles or whatever you want to call us, right? Gorgons. Dun, 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 dun. And so this big rock comes in and pow. And then the symbiotic relationships of molecular structures changes on planet Earth, right? Now, the sun could most likely, to maintain the galaxy as we know it, could call in the rock, okay, to hit the planet to maintain the balance for the orbit. They're orbiting around the planet, the whole 9 yards. Okay, do you understand? That's entirely tangible. Okay. And then they've had the thing, and they had these three other objects that have come through and done these different things than what they typically do. And it's, well, maybe they do typically do these kind of things over time when things get out of balance and to maintain balance of the galaxy. It's just you weren't using science projects to monitor it. Okay. So if you have certain kinds of evidence scientifically of how things work to maintain balance and harmony, and then how things are going anti-balance and harmony, you might want to pay attention to that and then obey that and behave thusly. Okay, because if you know what life is worth, you look for years on earth and now you see the light. And it's obvious, life is eternal and the essence is infinite. And that in order to maintain life as we know it on planet Earth, we have to understand the natural laws necessary and obey those natural laws. So this commercial with this woman running uphill for a car, kicking phones out of the way is absolute it's ludicrousness. Okay. What you do with your phone is absolutely meaningless. Okay. Unless, of course, you're obeying natural laws, understanding natural laws, and maintaining natural laws to love one another. So watching this one with this guy who's this Zephyrus, whatever, Cochrane, whatever and stuff, and it's boring. It's like, it's not boring. Okay. Loneliness is boring. Okay. But when you have another person to faithfully love and have children, it's never boring. Okay. It's never boring being a dad. It's never boring being a grandpa. It's just never boring. Never, not once, no. What's boring is being oppressed, abused, and manipulated by egomaniacs day after day. It's boring as hell. Here, my ego. Fuck your ego. We're sick of your fucking ego. Okay? We went, Noah to do his dance during Happy Talk. I didn't get to see it. I had to work. And he sat there and told me about it. But, there are just certain things that, they just... Kids are fun. I'm ignoring you. No, I'm annoying you. No, you're not, because I'm ignoring you. No, you're acknowledging me. That's because you're currently amusing me, right? And so a lot of the stuff is just overrated. When we do things naturally and we do things intelligently and we do things carrying kindness and fun. Watching that game last night with the young Mr. Anderson kid holding the kid on the punt return and the coach yelling at him, okay, because they got to win, because it's about money to maintain your job, okay? It's exercise. Let's go out there and exercise. Okay. We'll have fun. And then afterwards, I couldn't catch him. He's so damn good. And then after the game, you walk up to him and you grab him and you do like that British officer from Manchester United to Brian Hall and say, just get me M back, mate. Right? I mean, going, how was that guy keeping up with you? He was cheating. He was holding him every time. I was like, God, that British guy is fast, because, I know how fast Brian is, right? And Brian was like, he kept you on the pitch the whole time, right? And Brian goes, yeah, he started laughing. The guy comes up to him and he grabs him and he goes, just getting me head back, mate. And he goes, why haven't you, this guy played at Manchester United. And he said, you're one of the best soccer players I've ever played against, okay? You're one of the best athletes and soccer players I've ever played against. And then he asked the guy, he asked Brian, he goes, why aren't you? And then Brian explained to him that he played with Eric Maluna, the Jew who talked to him, but and then the British guys were like, you Yanks suck at your soccer. Don't you Yanks suck at soccer? And we just kind of, that was one of Brian's, compliments. Like what happened to me with Mr. Williams and Dina. Dina, the best basketball player that went to New Mexico State at Mayfield, and saying, the best player on the team. Who you? You're as dumb at taking compliments about basketball as you're whether or not girls like you. Huh? No, I knew girls were interested. I knew most of them couldn't date me. And the thing is, I didn't. You don't want to be a dog. You don't want to try them all out and see who you're. So you want to be very cautious and kind and understanding, and of course you're flirtatious and fun because you like them and they're fun, and so it's a very precarious position when you're in that kind of situation because you can't be with them all, and you don't want to be unkind and have them very focused on you and you be focused on someone else. Like last night I watched some Bandolero. And in the movie, you want you want Dean Martin to listen to Jimmy Stewart and get up and go to Missoula and take Miss Stoner with him, but what's his face wants her and he's a good guy. It's like, yeah, he loves he's infatuated with her and he wants her. Okay, but she doesn't feel the same way about him. So when someone doesn't feel the same way about you, it's an obsession more than an infatuation once you understand that it's not returned. Do you understand? Like Michelle, the good thing, Michelle Nichols is so dang good looking. But if you were like, oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous, but she didn't have that same, oh, I'd love to be with you feeling that you had about her, you'd have to lose that infatuation post-haste, or it would make your life miserable, and you could also very possibly make her life miserable. Like with people that have the Patriot Act and have surveillance equipment in your house and can obsess on you and manipulate you and, sliver you. Wise men say only fools rush in. Right? So this technology that we have to manipulate people to feel powerful is completely wrong. Right? The other night I was listening and this poor mom had just died of cancer. Okay. And this community, which is doing things through tribalism and archaic economic manipulative tribalism, gets together and pays a lot of money and gets together to do this thing for this girl's coming-of-age sexual ceremony, which is archaic and not necessary anymore. We've evolved past that. We're supposed to have evolved past that. And she's excited and happy because the community got together to do this for her in this archaic construct. But it'd be more intelligent if they didn't poison her to death with industrialization and class warfare. And she was able to live a long, healthy life, enjoying her daughter being able to choose the right person to have children with for the rest of her life and enjoy her grandkids and great-grandkids, right? Instead of feeling loved by economists that mass murder people in tribal warfare through archaic, do you see what I'm saying? So no matter how hard you try to paint the picture pretty, it's CGI, and that ain't a real entity thing talking to this handsome actor pretending to be a guy that's 150 years old dead, that's kept alive by this glowing thing from someone's imagination that didn't understand science too good back when they were entertaining people to sell products held hostage and not living the Lord's Prayer then as well as now. And this is in the 1960s, and it's 2025 today. Okay, and we had Judah Krishnamurti, but Judah Krishnamurti didn't have a YouTube and or Facebook. All right. We had G.T. Suzuki, and he did not the same. Okay. And I didn't go out to challenge scientists and corporations that call themselves religions. I told my family this when I came back home from Sierra Vista. I didn't bring this fight to you and your politicians and your church leaders and stuff. They brought it to me. All I wanted to do was love Amy and love the kids and have a faithful marriage with kids that want to, understand how to keep a faithful marriage too, that understand natural laws, obey natural laws. That when they make a commitment to a marriage, they do everything they can to honor that commitment to the marriage because it's an eternal life through sexual reproduction. Do you guys understand? Okay, you better, because, you have technology comparing yourself to one another. Like I told the guy at the Las Cruces Public Schools, the comparison and contrast. Now, me and Judah Krishnamurti just understand, obey natural laws, and love one another, and be a good person, and don't compare. But you guys don't do that. So you should compare yourself to me because you have taxpayer dollars with the top technology in all the world to decide who's the best and who's not the best and who's truthful and who's a liar and who needs to live and who needs to die. So this is a very serious matter. You guys have to think. You have to be as humble and intelligent as myself. And I can correct your technology because I'm a better person than you. Do you understand? Okay. Thanks, Jeff and Dimas, for helping set this up and wanting to be better people. Okay, guys, I love you. All right, peace out.